Hey everyone, welcome to The Explainer. If you're tuning in, you're obviously looking for some focused, efficient learning. And man, do we have an absolutely fascinating concept to unpack today. We're going to explore the literal architecture of the modern mind. So let's just dive right into it. We hear this all the time, right? Technology is changing how we think. But is it actually degrading our intelligence, or is it fundamentally upgrading our operating system? Today, we're using some incredibly insightful source material to break down this cognitive evolution happening right now, in real time, specifically looking at how Gen Z processes information compared to previous generations. Think about the stark contrast we see today. On one side, you have the traditional, raw processing brain, isolated, internal, built on really classical foundations. And on the other, you have the highly connected, hyper-eliminated Gen Z mind, completely intertwined with search interfaces, AI, and continuous data streams. It perfectly captures our central conflict. We really have to ask ourselves, is the modern mind actually smarter, or is it just perfectly coded to search? Well, to answer that, we kind of need to go back in time. There's this ancient Greek thought experiment that actually gives us the perfect lens for modern neuroscience. It's called Theseus' paradox. Imagine a wooden ship. Over time, every single wooden plank is damaged, removed, and replaced with a shiny, new synthetic one. Once every original part is completely gone, is it still the same ship? Now pivot with me for a second. Let's apply this paradox directly to the human brain. Imagine your brain is that ship. The original wooden planks? That's deep, isolated, internal memory. You know, the old school rote memorization, remembering phone numbers, historical dates, the stuff you used to spend hours in a library internalizing. Today, those planks are being entirely replaced by high-speed search operators, AI prompts, and algorithms.
Which brings us to the massive question anchoring our explainer today. If we literally outsourced every foundational thought, every fact check, and every single problem-solving step to an external digital brain, is our intellectual identity still intact? When the original planks of rote memory are gone, are we actually evolving into a smarter generation, or have we just perfected the art of outsourced cognition? To crack this, we need to look at the data. Section 1, archival versus networked, two cognitive styles. When you break it down methodically, two distinct minds really emerge. First, the archival mind. This is the traditional approach. It relies heavily on internalized memory banks. It's all about high retention, knowing exactly what something is. Now, contrast that with the networked mind of Gen Z. It relies on cloud-based indexing. It's not about knowing what the information is, it's about knowing exactly where to find it. Notice the shift in problem-solving here too. We move from linear trial and error deduction to lateral processing and prompt engineering. And the cognitive flex? Well, the traditional mind prides itself on the endurance to focus deeply for hours, while the networked mind flexes its elite-level curation and media literacy. It's a total paradigm shift. Let's bring that to life with a real-world scenario. Imagine trapping both of these minds in a room with a really complex, multi-layered riddle. What happens? Well, the archival mind scratches its head, digging deep into internal storage, trying to recall old formulas and closed-loop logic. Meanwhile, the networked mind hasn't just found the answer, they've reversed engineered the riddle's syntax, cross-referenced 3 different subreddits, and validated the whole thing using an advanced search query, literally all before the archival mind has even found a pen. It's a stunning difference in execution. So let's dig into why this happens. Section 2, digital amnesia and optimization. Look, we've all heard the classic narrative, often labeled a boomer take, that relying on technology ruins our attention spans and makes us objectively less intelligent. But honestly, that narrative misses the mark completely. And it's because of what we call the Google effect, also known as digital amnesia. Studies show that when people know information is readily available online, their brains actively choose not to memorize the fact itself, but instead they memorize how to find it. This is absolutely crucial to understand. This isn't a glitch in Gen Z's brain. It's not a failure of intelligence. It is a deliberate, highly efficient evolutionary optimization strategy. The brain is literally rewiring itself for maximum efficiency in a digital environment. Seriously, think about it. Why would you waste precious internal mental RAM storing raw data points, like say historical dates or complex coding syntax, when you can pull them up in exactly 0.2 seconds via a search bar? By outsourcing the heavy lifting of raw data storage, Gen Z isn't getting lazy. They're freeing up massive amounts of cognitive bandwidth. They're upgrading their operating systems. So,
what do they actually do with all that freed up mental bandwidth? They become professional curators. Modern intelligence requires you to rapidly filter out misinformation from a sea of data, optimize really complex search queries, leverage advanced AI tools, and execute high-order synthesis. In a world completely drowning in data, the ability to do those four things is a far higher order cognitive skill than just simple rote memorization. And this effectively pushes back hard against the idea that the networked mind is somehow a downgraded mind. But okay, we've got to look at the full picture here. Section 3, the offline paradox, when engines glitch. I want to slow down for a second and ask you something directly. Who are you when you're offline? Like, what actually happens when the external search engine glitches, when the Wi-Fi drops? If your intellectual identity is entirely tethered to a network, what remains of the ship when the digital planks instantly vanish? The sources we're looking at detail a very real, very impartial risk here. If a creator relies entirely on algorithmic trend spotting to generate their ideas, or if a student uses search optimization to completely bypass critical reading, a dangerous shift happens. At that stage, you aren't replacing the ship's planks with synthetic upgraded ones, you're simply eroding them. You are destroying the foundation without building a new one. That right there is the real danger of pure outsourcing without internal synthesis. So, how do we resolve this tension? Let's move to Section 4, Intellectual Identity, the New Paradigm. The crucial point is summarized perfectly by this concept from our source material. True algorithmic mastery isn't about being helpless without a search bar. It's about using the tool as an exoskeleton for your mind. Man, what an incredibly powerful framing. The smartest people of our current generation aren't just acting as human search engines blindly following algorithms. No way. They are individuals who combine raw, independent, archival-style critical thinking with elite digital literacy. The technology doesn't replace the brain, it acts as an exoskeleton, totally amplifying their natural strength. The ultimate verdict is pretty clear. Being intelligent in 2026 and beyond isn't about being a walking encyclopedia. It's about being a master of the information ecosystem. Our intellectual identity isn't lost just because the old wooden planks of our cognitive ship have been replaced by fiber optic cables. The ship of Theseus is still very much sailing, guys. It's just moving at absolute hyperspeed. Which leaves us with one final provocative thought to wrap up our explainer today. Are you just a human search engine, passively retrieving data? Or are you the one actually driving the tools, using them as an exoskeleton to elevate your own critical thinking? Because the real flex isn't pretending we don't need these digital tools. It's proving that we are the absolute masters of them. Thank you so much for joining me for this deep dive. Keep questioning, keep learning, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.